here. So welcome and good morning. We do have some of our president-elects who had unavoidable conflicts this morning, so they will be watching the recording later. We also have some of us who will be at the in-person event in Los Angeles and a few who will not. But thank you for allocating the time this morning to continue our president-elect training. If you were recently named to this position in your club in the last few weeks, as some of you were, then please be sure to go back and look at our recorded training sessions from September, October, and November. Those were important foundational discussions with our district committee heads for membership, public image, and foundation. And the links to those recordings are on our District 5000 website under Club Resources, President-elect. You'll find those links there. So if just to remind you who I am, I'm Ted Faigle. I'll be serving as our district governor-elect for 2024-25. And I live on the island of Kauai, and I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Poipu Beach. And I'm a past president and a past assistant governor and a past district social media chair and assistant bottle washer as well. Have attended Pets quite a few times now between when we used to go to Far West Pets in San Jose and now in Los Angeles. I just wanted to kick off this morning for us all to get to know who all is on our call. We have a good agenda, and Naomi Masuno and Benson Medina will be joining us about 9:30 as they're wrapping up the District Leadership Academy session this morning. So I'm going to ask us to go around. I'll just call each of your names, and I'm going to ask you to please just introduce yourself with your name, the name of your club, and tell us if there was any place in the world that you could visit, where would you want to visit and why? Just very briefly. So I'll give you a minute to think about that. If there was one place in the world that I would like to visit, my answer would be Botswana. I really want to go on an African safari and be able to see not only the African landscape, but also the African wildlife. So that would be one of my dream places still on my bucket list to go. Hugh, could I ask you to go next?
Sure, I'm Hugh Chair. I'm with the Rotary Club of Wailuku. If you want to know anything about African safaris, Ted, get a hold of me.
Yeah.
One place I'd like to go to the world is back to Zambia. I got married there 50 years ago this year, so we are going back. I've been on the Botswana safari, but that was in 1981. So that was a while ago. It's changed since then. Botswana is expensive. Go to Zambia instead. It's better.
Good to know. Is there another place you want to go, Hugh, or back to Zambia?
Back to Zambia. I've been to most other places I'd like to go to, but I'm going to go back to Zambia.
Okay. Vern.
Hi, everybody. Vern Lowry, Kona Sunrise. Favorite place to probably visit that I haven't been has been Normandy, France. That's something that we tried to do, my wife and I, and we just couldn't make it happen a couple of years ago because of the pandemic. But that's kind of where I'd like to go and get caught up with some of the history there at Normandy.
Super. Christina.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Christina Doty, and I'm with the Rotary Club of Pearl Harbor. And ironically, I was on an African safari last year and I loved it. You're going to have a great time. My next trip is Vietnam. That's going to be next year. And I think I'm interested in that because both I had a brother and a father serve in the Vietnam War. And it's just always been an interest to go back there someday or to go and visit it and experience the culture and the food.
Yeah, great. Wendell.
Yes, I'm Wendell Nicot. I'm with the Rotary Club of Mililani Sunrise. And I don't have any place that I want to visit right now.
Okay. Eva Gold.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eva Goyi from Rotary Club of Waikiki. I'm elect this 2024 and 2025 with District Governor-elect Ted. So looking forward to learn from you. And next trip, I'm going to April. I'm going to Japan to visit Sister Cup, Japanese Sister Cup, to visit the clubs. Thank you.
Great. Jay.
Well, Jay Satinstein, Kihei Wailea Club. I'd like to go back to England to visit my son and grandson and daughter-in-law, and also Italy. I was there this past year, but I don't think I got enough. I'm a Hanaho president 4 times.
Okay.
First time was
Sorry.
first time was 76, 77, and the second time was 82, 83. So things have changed quite a bit since then.
Yeah, we've had a few changes since then. Yeah. Heather.
Yes, Heather Mueller, Rotary Club of Maui. And I would like to go to the Pitcairn Islands.
And why there, Heather?
I'm just fascinated with the whole story and how the two cultures of the Brits and the locals combined. And I just read a book about a woman that traveled around the Pacific Ocean on a sailboat, and she's going to be at our next book group. And she spoke very, very highly about about it being a very interesting place to visit.
Great, thanks. Stephen.
Hey, morning everyone. Steven Sylvester, Rotary Club of Faigle Bay. If I could go one place in the world, it'd probably be the Azore Islands off of Portugal. That's where my family came from, so it'd be cool to get back to the family roots.
Great. Calvin.
Yeah, hi, Calvin Hara with Kahala Sunrise, and any village, small town in Japan is my desires.
Great. Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Corey from Lahaina Sunrise. And if I could go anywhere, I would love to go to Bora Bora and stay in an overwater bungalow. It's just always kind of been a dream.
Yeah, cool. Delcy.
Kelsey Smith with West Pearl Harbor Rotary. I think Japan is the favorite right now, and so I'm going to go ahead and ride that train. I always hear about the street food, and you watch it on TV, and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's do that. So that's been me and my husband's bucket list for a while. So Japan.
Great. Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily Smith from Rotary Club of Hickam Pearl Harbor. I'm actually going to Lithuania next year. That's where my family is from originally, and it's not a place commonly people go to visit. I was able to go many, many years ago when it was still under the communist regime, and I got to meet some family. So when I saw, it's actually a cruise, and I saw it stopped, this cruise stopped in Lithuania, and we decided I needed to do this again. So I don't know that any of my family's still there, but still nice to go back and see roots.
Gautam.
Hello, everyone. Gautam Gulwadi, Honolulu Sunset. I spent a lot of time in Finland, on Findian, and Greenland has always intrigued me. It's pristine. I like winter, so that's a place I'd like to visit. Thank you.
Great. John.
Good morning, everyone. John Mitchell from Hawai'i Rotary. A lot of places people have said already, so I'll touch something new. I spent a couple days in New Zealand on business a few years ago and really enjoyed it and wish I could have spent some more time. So that's probably on the list, the short-term list of places to go and do some more exploration around that country.
Great. Susan.
Hi, Susan with the Eco Rotary of Kaka'ako. I would really like to go to New Zealand. I haven't been there yet, and I've heard it is just unbelievably beautiful. And they've got a lot of really great activities to do down there and whatnot. So that's my place.
Super. Lanny.
Lanny from Lahaina Sunset. On my bucket list for years is to do the Mediterranean loop on a cruise ship where it can land base and explore, kind of do the sampler of all that region, you know, the Spain, the France, the Italy, check out the Roman history, the Greek history, etc. And then after that, spend some more time, go land based and go deeper and just hang out there for a while.
Nice. Marianne?
Well, Marianne Berry from Rotary Club of so good to see so many familiar faces. I've been to two places recently that I'd like to go back to. Iceland, for one. Gautam, Iceland's really neat. I know it. I was there in December and it was cold, but it was beautiful. And also Switzerland.
Beautiful. Mark.
Good morning. Mark Marion from the Rotary Club of Metropolitan Honolulu. I think I'd like to visit the Polynesian Islands and learn more about their culture and the ways of wayfaring in the Pacific Ocean.
Super. Thank you, Mark. And of course, as we all know, Mark is serving as our district governor this year. Tom.
Okay, Tom Coyne, Rotary Club of Honolulu. Having spent most of my adult life traveling all through Asia on business and pleasure, I would like to spend time in Paris in Italy. Actually looking to go to Paris this year. Unfortunately, I'm president-elect, so starting July 1st, I'm not going to have a lot of time to do much of anything, but I'm hoping to break away for 2 weeks to go to Paris. Thank you.
Super. Steve.
Hi, Steve Hansen from the Metropolitan Honolulu. Like Jay and Tom, went to Europe this past summer, visited Italy, England, and Paris, France, but only 1 week in Italy is not enough. So I definitely want to go back to Italy, try to visit Milan and Tuscany, drink some wine. So definitely looking forward to that in the next couple of years.
And past District Governor Ross.
Hi, good morning, everyone. And I would like to visit again, or cruise again, the Greek islands.
Beautiful. And Derek.
Good morning, Derek Adams, Hawaii. I'd like to go back to Italy.
Thank you. Barry. Barry, are you there? We might have lost Barry. Randy, are you there?
Hello, everyone. Randy Soriano, Rotary E Club of Hawaii. I think I want to just do like a road trip through Europe. I think that's something that I kind of just want to explore and get lost, in various different countries.
Super. And James. James, we're not hearing you.
He put in the notes, his mic isn't working.
Mic's not working. Okay. Thank you, James. So I just wanted to get a chance for us all to get to know who's on our call. When we go to pets in Los Angeles. We will have about 35 of us who will be there in person. Some of our Hanaho presidents have conflicts or other reasons that they're not going to be with us in person. But thanks for getting together on the call today. This is another in our series. If you did not be sure to look at any past recordings of our president-elect training. Today on our agenda, we're going to be covering a few important topics, and PDG Naomi and our DG Benson Medina, that's a lot of acronyms. They'll be joining us about 9:30 to help lead some of the discussion and the topics for this morning. So we're going to kick off with talking about our Rotary theme that was just announced, our Rotary vision, and our Rotary action plan. The Rotary action plan is going to be a high priority for all of us this coming year in 24-25, and I'll explain more about that in a moment. Then Benson will talk with us and lead us in a discussion about being a strong and vibrant club. What does that mean to be a strong and vibrant club? We'll take a short break in the middle of our time this morning, and then we'll come back, and Naomi will help us with some important tactical knowledge, which is using our club runner systems and our Rotary Club Central systems for managing our clubs and our club data. And those are two very important systems that if you're not already familiar with, you need to get familiar with. And even if you think you're familiar with them, there are probably good refreshers and pointers that Naomi will share with us. Then we'll turn our attention to what to expect for those of us going to Los Angeles and go through kind of the logistics and the timing of various things and some tips for what to do and what to bring. And then at the end, we'll leave some time open for any general questions that we haven't covered today. So let's move on then to our Rotary theme and vision. And let me share my screen here. You should be seeing some slides on your screen now. With Hawai'i Rotary 24-25, it's going to be magical. I was honored a couple weeks ago now to go to the Rotary International Assembly. The Rotary International Assembly is where all 530 district governor-elects from all around the world come together in Orlando, Florida, with our Rotary International president-elect and partners and other dignitaries. And this is where our you see there on the screen, our Rotary International president-elect is Stephanie Yurchik. Stephanie is a member of the Rotary Club of McMurray, Pennsylvania. And I think she's going to be an excellent leader for us worldwide in Rotary across our 34,000 clubs in 530 different districts. So as you know, we have an annual theme each year. This may be the last year actually that we do an annual theme, but the annual theme as unveiled by Stephanie just a couple of weeks ago for us in 24-25 is the magic of Rotary. So Stephanie challenges each of us to think about how can we create magic within Rotary. As you know, the power of our connections, of being able to collaborate with each other, the inspiration that we get from being part of our local clubs, but also our amazing organization that exists all around the world having significant impact in communities in more countries than the United Nations is present. It's really amazing. And then also, you know, how do we share that magic of Rotary? How do we communicate and share with our partners, with our members, with prospective members in our communities, what that magic is like for each of us? Why did we join Rotary? Why do we continue to be in Rotary? Really sharing our why. A great piece of advice that I was given a couple years ago was when somebody asks you the what question. So if they ask you, what is Rotary? Answer with your why. So instead of just saying, oh, Rotary is this worldwide organization with 1.4 million members and 34,000 clubs around the world. As soon as I start to say that, the other person's eyes start to glaze over, quite frankly. But if I answer that question with my why, well, in Rotary, I get to work on projects like my club's Kids Christmas project, where we do a Christmas party for 100 clients of child and family services. And we get to give them gifts and have a visit from Santa and show a movie. And the kids' faces just light up. For many of them, it's the only gift that they get that year. One girl turned to me last year and said, "This is the best Christmas ever." So that's the kind of thing that we do in Rotary and that we get in Rotary. That opens up to really engage the person you're speaking with and for them to ask you more. Well, tell me more about your club, right? So sharing that magic, whatever your magic is, whatever your club experience is, favorite project, but what is it that really grabs you about Rotary and how can you share that with somebody else? So Stephanie was very, excuse me if I cough once in a while, I came home ill from the International Assembly and still kind of getting over a lingering cough. Stephanie was very involved in the development of what we call the Rotary Action Plan. And hopefully you've heard of the Rotary Action Plan someplace before now, but if you didn't, we're going to hear more about it this morning. It's going to be a very important priority for us in 24-25. That action plan is putting into action strategies and plans for us to move toward our vision. So our Rotary vision statement, together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And I emphasize a few keywords in there. We unite, so we collaborate with other individuals in our clubs, we collaborate across clubs, and we collaborate with clubs even in other countries to do global projects. And we take action. In Rotary, we are people of action. And it's not, a vision is only valuable if that vision helps us determine what actions we want to take in order to move toward that vision in the future. And of course, we also in Rotary are about creating lasting change. So what are problems, what are situations in our communities that we can have an impact that's sustainable? If we work on a global project, are we designing a project so that it's sustainable and long lasting? And of course, these happen worldwide and in our own local communities. So in the Rotary Action Plan, we have 4 priorities. Number 1 is increase our impact. 2 is expand our reach. 3 is enhance participant engagement. And 4 is increase our ability to adapt. So we have these 4 strategic pillars. this framework. And this framework was developed actually using focus groups and market surveys with Rotary members in 15 different countries around the world. So there was widespread participation by Rotary members in the development of this action plan and these 4 strategic priorities. And we're using now this framework of these 4 things for planning at the top of the organization, Rotary International, so the worldwide organization. We're also using these 4 pillars for planning for our district priorities. So how is our district going to support and enable each of our clubs in each of these 4 areas? And in 24-25, we're asking each of our clubs to use these 4 priorities for planning actions within your club. And why are we doing that? Well, we have historically asked each club to set goals. And when Benson joins us to talk about strong and vibrant clubs, I'm sure one of the items he's going to talk about is strong and vibrant clubs have a why, and they have a set of goals that they're working together, that they agree on. These are things that we want to achieve together, and these are the goals that we want to work toward. In those goals, we always ask people to set a goal around membership, around foundation, around service projects, around public image. Think about a membership goal, for example. Well, one of the things we need to do to achieve a membership goal is expand our reach. We need to bring in new members to Rotary. What's another thing we need to do? We need to enhance participant engagement. We need the members in our club to have a good club experience, that they feel that they're valued, that they're getting what they want to out of Rotary, that they're having a touch your heart moment in their Rotary experience. So these 4 pillars are really ways for us to think about actions that we want to take in our clubs that are going to help us to achieve those goals. In each of these 4 areas, we'll talk more about this over the coming months and at PETS in Los Angeles. But we're going to ask you to look in each of these 4 areas and discuss with your club boards, with your club members, where are we today with regard to expanding our reach, with increasing our impact? Where would we like to get to in the next 2 to 3 years? And then based on where we are today, where we're trying to get to, then what are the few specific actions we want to take this year in order to move that direction? So increasing our impact is about how do we develop projects that are things that the community will value, that have an impact in our local community, impact in our global projects, making sure that they're sustainable. Also, collaborating not only among our club members, but are there opportunities to do multi-club projects, that we collaborate with other clubs in our area, that we can have a bigger impact by doing a project together and involving more people from multiple clubs than we would if we just operate separately in our own little islands. Also, this is about working with others outside of Rotary. So are there friends of Rotary, volunteers to work with us? Are there partner organizations to work with? On Maui, around the Maui fires recovery projects, there's been a lot of strong partnerships with United Way, for example, and with American Red Cross. That's enabled us to really increase our impact. So one of the things we want to do is think about what impact are our club's projects having today? What kind of impact would we like them to have 2 to 3 years from now? What are some specific actions in our club that we want to take then in order to move that direction? The second priority in our action plan, oops, sorry, I moved one too soon here, is enhanced participant engagement. And enhanced participant engagement is about our existing members. I talked about membership goals, and you'll hear from Stephanie when you interact with her at PETS and hear from her at PETS, is she will be talking about the club experience, and she will also be talking about how do we grow Rotary. And there are essentially 3 ways we can grow Rotary. One is we can bring in new members. 2, we can retain the members we have. And 3, we can start new clubs and new club types to attract people into clubs that, for whatever reason, don't want to join one of our existing clubs. So enhancing participant engagement is really targeted specifically at that retention goal of how do we keep the members in our clubs that we already have. And if you recall, with our discussion with Connie Ichinose back a few months ago around membership, each of our clubs has a natural attrition rate. There's a certain number of people that are going to leave our club each year for various reasons. It's not always for a bad reason. Sometimes people are moving to the mainland, they have a job change, they have a health issue, whatever it may be. There's a certain number of people in each of our clubs who are going to leave each year. That we call attrition. So as we're thinking about how do we grow our clubs, get more people involved in Rotary, increasing our impact, we have to plan for not only bringing in 2 new members, but if we have 2 people who are on average going to leave and we want to grow by 2 members, that means we actually have to recruit 4 new members into our club. And Randy Hart began to talk with all of our clubs about this a couple of years ago now, of understanding what is the natural attrition rate in your club, and then what do you need to plan to do in order to backfill that attrition and then also grow from there. You will also hear from Stephanie and from me. She has given each of our districts a goal to grow 100 members. So 2 years ago, Randy Hart gave each of us a goal of try to come up with a net positive increase in your club membership of 1 member. This year, I need to give you a goal of we need to increase in each of our clubs by a net positive of 2 members. So we're moving the needle just slightly forward there. So think about, and we'll help you with the data. Connie and the membership district team is a great resource for understanding the data around your attrition rate, around how to attract new members, how to backfill for that attrition. But think about how can we in our club, what are some things that we can try and do to bring in to make sure that at the end of the year we have a net positive of 2 additional members than we started at the end of the year. And of course, some of you will blow that out of the water. You'll have way more than 2 members. But as a baseline for all of us, how can we come up with 2 members? And that means we need to try some new things, do some different things. We are doing that this year with our membership rallies in each of our areas. And we have seen some new members come in as a result of those membership rallies in each of our areas. So we'll talk more about this. How do we do some membership development activities? What are ways that we can bring people in, help them learn more about Rotary, and hopefully engage them so that they want to join us. That's getting some new members. Part of then reaching that target is making sure that our existing club members are engaged, that they're feeling that they're getting value, that they have something worthwhile to work on and contribute within the club. There are clubs that if they haven't seen their member for a while, they haven't attended a meeting or a project, they have a person or a team of people who will call out to those individuals and just say, hey, I'm calling to check in. We haven't seen you for a little while. We're wondering how you're doing, and just see, it may be that there's something going on that other club members ought to know about, or it may be that something has happened that the club member isn't feeling that they're engaged, or they haven't found the kind of project that they want to work on yet. And that's an opening then to have a discussion about, well, what would you like to work on, and how can we make that happen? Also making sure in our club meetings that we have good participation, that we have different people involved in doing parts of the meeting, and that our meetings are fun and engaging. So one of the things we want to do is make sure that we're really centered on the needs of our members, and that we're meeting their needs and expectations, and that we're understanding their expectations, and we're trying to find ways to meet or exceed those. And then our other action plan priority here is increasing our ability to adapt. COVID, of course, forced all of our clubs to really test this, of how could we adapt and do things differently, do them more quickly, do them in different ways than we had done before. Many of our clubs have changed our meeting frequencies, we've changed our meeting fees, we've changed whether meals are required as part of a meeting. We've done new kinds of projects that maybe we haven't done in the past. So one of the things we need to think about is, are we flexible? Are we meeting the needs of our members? Are we affordable? Are we flexible? Are we meeting at the right times and the right kinds of places so that it's accessible to the people in our clubs and the people that we want to attract to our clubs? That means, we want to stay true to our Rotary principles and ideals, but we also want to try some new things. And with this, I want to say we want to honor the past, but we also want to create the future. Many times in Rotary, I think we do things just because that's the way we've always done them. And as leaders of your clubs in the coming year, I'd like to ask you and challenge you to really think through, are there things in our clubs that we need to start? Are there things in our clubs that we need to stop? And are there things in our clubs that we need to continue? And doing that kind of analysis each year, I think, also contributes to a healthy club of, are we adapting? Just because we did something 10 years ago, does that mean we should be doing it in the coming year? Some things, the answer for that will be yes. Some of the things, the answer for that may be no. And you may have then, from your other analysis, other new things that you should be doing and trying. But don't be afraid to try new things and engage your club members in new ideas, new things to try. And some of those things will work and you'll want to continue them. Some of them won't work and you won't want to continue them. But unless we experiment and we innovate, then we risk becoming irrelevant and just aging in place. I personally, way back in the 1980s and 90s, I worked at the second largest computer company in the world. It was called Digital Equipment Corporation. Some of you who are my age may have run into that or heard that, but other people probably have never even heard of that because that company really missed the mark on some technology changes, some market changes, and eventually had to merge with Compaq Computer and then get acquired by Hewlett-Packard Computers. And so the second largest computer company in the world disappeared. Kodak had the technology for digital imaging, but what happened? Digital imaging went to other companies and then got integrated into our cell phones. Kodak now is just a brand name that gets licensed to other product vendors. That's what's left of the Kodak company, is licensing the brand name. So when large organizations lose sight of the world is changing, the market is changing, the needs of our customers are changing, they risk becoming irrelevant over time, and new entrants into the market, new competitors come in. So let's make sure, in the spirit of what Paul Harris said 100 years ago, that we are always looking at how do we reinvent Rotary? How do we stay relevant in a changing world? He didn't expect that Rotary would stay exactly the same for 100 years. So if we need to have new meeting types, if we need to have new kinds of projects, how do we do that? People today have lots of alternatives for how and where to volunteer. So let's be clear on why do you want to come and be part of Rotary? And what's the value that you're going to get from being part of this amazing organization? So let me pause there with these 4 words for us to remember. Really burn these into your minds for the coming year: impact, reach, engage, adapt. As we're leading our clubs, how are we going to help our clubs with these 4 words: impact, reach, engage, adapt? And let's just, off the top of your head, what's one thing you might do in your club to increase impact? Anybody want to unmute and share an idea?
Oh, I have a comment.
Yeah, Christina.
So our club, for I think the last 10 years, has done a student dictionary project for 3rd grade students at some of the area schools. And I brought to the question to the table is this still a relevant project in our changing world where kids are so used to digital devices? So that's kind of like a big question mark for our club.
Yeah, good example. Anybody else idea what might you re-examine or do differently to increase the impact in your club? Just any idea off the top of your head.
So this is Susan from Eco Rotary. We have kind of shifted away from doing a lot of beach cleanups for a couple reasons. One is because a lot of other entities on at least Oahu do beach cleanups already. but also trying to move towards the larger impact areas of waste stream interruption. So we've started to move our focus into more composting and kinds of things. Over.
Yeah, so re-examining the types of projects you're doing and adjusting that to meet unmet needs instead of duplicating what other people are doing. Any other idea off the top of your heads?
I have something.
Yeah, Jay.
As you know, we do the rescue tubes, which are a great thing for the shoreline in Maui and wherever. But there's a large park called Kalama Park in Kihei, which was they went through years ago with groups cleaning it up, doing a walkthrough once a week with the police and all. And since COVID, that fell apart. Anyone who's visited Kihei knows that huge whale, which is an old Rotary project. So I'm looking at our club coming back and taking care of it, which would be an impact. I mean, everyone would come to that park. Today, it is so crowded on the weekdays. But in the evening, you want to make sure the lights are working, the graffiti is cleaned up and all. And all that we do is walk together and, try and point out what needs to be done and occasionally pick up a paintbrush and clean graffiti. So I think that would show an impact of Rotary in action. It's something which, is very well used in Maui, in South Maui.
Yeah, great, thanks. So those are some great examples. How about increase our reach? Any ideas off the top of your head? How could your club increase its reach?
Ted?
Yeah, Marianne.
Our club just initiated a corporate membership and inducted our first new corporate member. And that's a good way, even if your club has small businesses, it's still a very good way to increase your membership by having, all the people in that small business be members of the Rotary Club. Because they don't always have to come to every meeting, they can switch off. But that means more hands, like for service projects, at social activities, whatever.
Right, good example. Anybody else? Vern.
Hey, Ted, this is Vern. We just recently joined the Kona Kohala Chamber of Commerce. So we're trying to build those relationships along with, we got to reboot our website. It's currently ineffective. So that's a challenge we have coming in the next few months.
Yeah, two great examples. Partner with another organization, get visibility, but also what's your online presence? Can people find you online? When they do find you online, is the information there accurate? Is it engaging? Any other ideas about increasing your reach?
Our club, the Rotary Club of Maui, has a member who is very actively involved with Lahaina realtors and other people on the staff of reaching out to people who have been impacted by the fires. And what we're really searching to do is to find a place where we can do ongoing therapy and provide opportunity to the community for therapy for, of course, people struggling with the emotional PTSD and anger needs of the people who have been impacted by the fires. So our club is involved, but primarily one member right now, but our club will be more involved in this project as it unfolds.
Great example. Anybody else have an idea around? Steve?
Yeah, it goes by what Vern said too about updating the website. Also, what I've seen is Josh Pagwana doing a great job in social media. I mean, just getting the names out there, doing invites through Facebook, through Instagram, through LinkedIn, just a nonstop. And I think in our club, we have a few people contributing to like the Facebook page, but I think if we could have one person dedicated to do social media in our club, and along with partnering with other clubs, I just think that our reach would actually skyrocket with that.
Yeah. Great point, Steve. The most recent data I've seen, the average person spends 2.5 hours per day on social media. So if we're going to reach people where they're spending their time,
Ted, you're frozen. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
let's
Ted,
move on in the interest. I'm sorry, we got another one?
No. It's just you're frozen there for a second.
Oh, sorry. Hopefully you heard me. So I was just sharing the data point that the average person spends 2.5 hours per day on social media. So if we're going to reach people where they are, one of the places they are is on social media. How about engaging our participants in our club experience? Any ideas about how we can make sure that all of our members are engaged and feeling value? What are a couple ideas of things your club could do to ensure that?
Excuse me, I'll go. One of the things I was thinking about doing leading into this coming year is a listening tour, or setting up, one-to-one 15, 20-minute conversations with all the members to ask them specifically that. What do they want their Rotary experience to be?
Right.
And then based on that, any common themes that come through, looking building off of those.
Right. Yeah. So ask them, call them up and ask them, especially ones that you may not have seen. Great idea recently. So great idea, John. Anybody else?
Yeah, Ted.
Participants.
We use Club Runner regularly, sign-ups, remind folks that go ahead and sign up electronically. But we also found that the old school way of a clipboard at our meetings, just passing it around, even those that say continue Club Runner will sign up on the clipboard, and then we just go in and manually add them into Club Runner. So that's effective as well.
Great example. And how about adapt? Any ideas of things that your club could do to be more flexible and adaptable?
Hey, Ted.
Yeah.
We shifted our meeting time from 7 in the morning until noon because many of our younger members are family members, and they've got to get kids to school between 7 and 8. And so it was more convenient for them to meet at lunchtime. So we switched from 7 a.m. to noon.
Yeah. So is there a better time to meet, a better place to meet? Any other ideas, things that your club might consider doing to be more flexible, adaptable, approachable, or the other word that Stephanie Yurchik likes to use is irresistible. She talks about let's find ways to make our clubs irresistible, that when people come to visit our clubs, we're so irresistible that they want to join us. And when our existing members experience our clubs through meetings, projects, it's so irresistible that they can't wait for the next thing to engage with. Okay, I just want a quick sharing of ideas, and that's to prompt your thinking, and so that when we come together in Los Angeles at PETS, you'll have some more ideas in your mind that we can then turn into goals and actions for your clubs. But that's to introduce the framework and to get you thinking about what might be some ideas of actions in those different areas. And so we do need to move along. I've already overrun my own agenda for this morning. So thanks to PDG Naomi and our DGND. And if you don't know what I mean by DGND, that's our District Governor Nominee Designate. And that's Benson Medina. So thank them for joining us, shifting over from the District Leadership Academy. And Benson, can I hand it over to you next to talk with us about strong and vibrant clubs?
Okay, thanks, Ted. So I'm coming to you today from lovely Las Vegas, here to visit my brother. So I forgot to bring my Rotary shirt, so you'll have to excuse the black t-shirt for today. But typically we're going to talk about vibrant clubs, but I'm also going to talk about what makes a vibrant club. So if you follow along with me a little bit, what we have seen over in the few years that I've been working on district training with Naomi, we've seen a lot of clubs, a lot of different clubs in a lot of different situations, and we have been working a lot on these 4 strategic priorities that Ted has been talking about: impact, reach, being able to expand, and increasing participant engagement. So all of these things that I'm going to talk about now in club infrastructure, they're going to have to do with basically building those. So let me take you here now. Okay, everybody see that? Somebody can just say yes. I mean, it's okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, good. All right, there's Claudia. Claudia is our PE, so yay, our own PE showed up. Okay, so we're going to talk about critical club infrastructure, 8 ways to sustain and grow your club. But we're also going to talk about how these things contribute to making a very, very vibrant, active, and really engaging club. All right, so infrastructure, I work actually in infrastructure. That's kind of my job, building critical infrastructure for governments, hospitals, universities, schools. And what we know is that infrastructure determines quality of life, right? So when you take a look at our quality of life in the US versus the quality of life they have in, a small town in India, it's because we have water, we have electricity, we have sewage, we have internet, we have all of these critical things that we need that allows us to have a very high quality of life, okay? And so it's the same thing with a Rotary Club. If a Rotary Club has basic pieces of infrastructure in there, the club can thrive. If it doesn't, the club's gonna struggle. So we'll walk through these if you haven't heard them before. All right, as I was saying, Rotary Clubs need sustainable infrastructure to keep going. Now, it goes up and down. So you might have a really good engaging group in your club, and then for some reason over time that group leaves, a new group comes in. Infrastructure changes a little bit. In our club, South Hilo, we had a really huge club and we had like 50 members. And then when COVID came, we lacked the ability to adapt. So our club almost completely went away. So we came down to some really small numbers, but we're building it back up now because these infrastructure pieces that I'm talking about, they're coming back into play now. Okay, so here are the things that I've determined, and you guys can add more onto this if you want, that every club, regardless of its size, and at our last meeting in the DLA, we had Hilo, South Hilo, and Pahoa together as a group. Those 3 presidents are all in DLA together. And regardless of size, every club basically has the same type of issues. So number 1, have to have an engaged board. Okay, so if you have a board or don't have a board, or every club should have a board because it's part of the charter, that board needs to be really committed to the success of the club. It's the guiding, basically the body of the club that guides what the club is going to do. And it's the main infrastructure piece that supports the president. So for you as an incoming president, it's your board that should be the group that should be surrounding you and helping you to do the things that you need to do to be successful as club president. And the second thing is a strategic plan. Now, we're going to walk through strategic planning, not at PETS, but in the subsequent months after PETS, to figure out what direction your club is going to go in. Now, Rotary has its own process of developing a strategic plan, and we've done it for years. But basically, it's pretty simple, right? And you can do it, you can get your board together and do it on the back of a napkin if you want. And it's basically, what are we going to do? You know, a lot of clubs are sort of redefining themselves now. Like the Eco Club decided, hey, we're not going to do beach cleanups anymore. We're going to do stuff that's going to be more impactful. Okay, what specifically are you going to do now? And I see a lot of clubs now sort of narrowing down their mission within that community so they can specialize in one thing as opposed to trying to be all things to everybody. All right, what are we going to do? How are we going to do that? Who's going to do that? And then what are we going to do it? Okay, pretty simple stuff, but that's the basic strategic plan 101. And what we found basically in the training we've done in Rotary, clubs that have a strategic plan, they tend to be a lot more effective, a lot more accomplished than clubs that don't have one. Now, some clubs have a strategic plan, but it's been sitting in somebody's drawer for the last 4 or 5 years, and nobody's bothered to pull that out. So once a strategic plan is put into place, and it should be a plan that'll cover the coming year, then it's the board's priority to make sure that the plan is being followed, right? So it's an active active document, much like a business plan, right? So you guys who are business owners, you know, you don't just write a business plan and put it in a drawer. You write a business plan, and every week, every month, you're taking a look at the goals that you set, the direction you're heading, your marketing direction, to make sure you're staying consistent with your marketing or your business plan. Strategic plan, same thing for a club, okay? So you have to have that in place. And I guess you'd really be surprised how many clubs actually don't really have one. So we're going to focus on that. Okay, next thing, and this sounds like it's a pretty simple thing, but there's a lot of clubs out there that don't have a reliable place to meet, because the place they used to meet isn't taking people anymore, or pre-COVID, they don't meet there anymore. You know, a lot of clubs want to go someplace where they can get food, but the food's too expensive. A lot of clubs would like to meet at a place, but it's not open during the time they want to meet. And so what we're seeing now is a lot of clubs are, you know, they're meeting in churches, they're meeting at, you know, in a picnic shelter down at the beach, you know, and everybody just brings their own lunch. And that's part of adapting, right? But you have to have a reliable place to meet that people can depend on, that's basically conducive to having a meeting there. I've been in meetings where, club meetings where, you know, there's all kinds of stuff going outside. You're in the middle of a restaurant, but the restaurant's open at the same time. So you got all this other chatter going around you, right? Don't have a sound system, don't have a place where people can make a presentation. So you got to decide, what does your club need for a meeting space, and find that space. And that space has to be accessible, affordable, comfortable, and easy to get to, right? Okay. An active and predictable calendar. And, you know, it's the calendar that really drives the activity of the club. So when our club was coming out of COVID, and, you know, people were sort of interested, not interested, not really sure what we were going to do. The first thing that our president did, I said, hey, let's get a calendar out there so at least people know you know, here's when our club meetings are going to be, here's when our service projects are going to be, here's our club assemblies, here's our Christmas party. And so what we found about the basic human nature of people is that people need something to look forward to. And if you have an active calendar and that calendar is out in front of them, and they're reminded every week about what's coming up, people will respond to it. So one of the things we did post-COVID is we got a calendar out right away to people that had a bunch of stuff on it that we were committed to doing. And it helped to activate our club back up again where it had been dormant for a while. Okay, regular communication, and I can't stress this enough. Now, it's really good that we get out there on social media. And I think you or somebody was talking about updating their website, which is critical, because people will tend, especially new members that are looking at your club, they'll look at your website before they go to your meeting. So if they're just like a new Rotarian that's moved into your area, chances are pretty good they've looked at your website. So if your website still has stuff on it from 2019, probably not going to come to your club. Okay, so it has to be current. But what I'm talking about is a regular communication, a regular way to get to your clubs, to get to your membership every week. So in our club president sends an email out every single week, Sunday or Monday, and basically say, hey, Rotarians, here's what's coming up for the week. And that has to be done consistently 52 weeks a year so that people get on this cycle like, oh, okay, I'm gonna look for Claudia's email and she's gonna tell me what we're doing. Because people forget, especially if you're like our club that switched from 4 times a month to 2 times a month. Like even though we say it's the second and fourth Tuesday, people do not want to stop to figure what is the second and fourth. They want to know, is there a meeting this week or there's not a meeting this week? Is there a social this week or not? Is there the service project and when is it going to be, right? So a regular way to communicate with clubs. If you have a newsletter, that's good, but weekly would be a really, really great system to get on because people get into the cadence of that and they understand that. Okay, the sixth thing is that you have to have an inclusive core group. So every club has a core group, and the core group are basically the lifers in your club. They're going to come to a club meeting. They're going to support the club. You ring the bell, they're going to show up. And usually it's a percentage of the members of your club. Now, in our club, we've got about 30 members, and I would say half of them are probably in this core group of people, right? And the core group are the people that show up for everything. Now, here's the challenge, is that you have to, one, make sure that group is inclusive, which means they're open to growing and adding people in there. Because if you have, in our last meeting, Linda Coble was on, right? She's a former PDG. And she was saying, it's really easy to get into this little clique vibe where you sit there with your same group every week at the meeting, and you don't really even care about who the new people are. All right. Wrong answer. All right. You got to engage with people that are coming in, and then encourage the new people to engage too. But your core group has to be the people that are engaging people. It's that group that basically sets the club culture, right? And what's the club culture? Your club culture is basically how you behave and how you act together as a group. That's your club culture. So if you're inclusive and you're happy and you like people, that's going to come across in the culture. Now, Rotary is different all over the world. Like you go to a Rotary Club meeting in Japan, very formal. You got like people wear a suit and very, very business-like, right? You come to our club, hey man, short slippers, you come in. It's more casual. Okay, inclusive core group. Okay, next thing is that you have to have some systems and processes down in your club. Okay, and what I mean is that, new member or a new person arrives at the meeting. Okay, what's the follow-up to that person? If that new person decides they want to be a member, what's the onboarding process for that person, right? How do you onboard them? How do you plug people in the things that they can do within your club, right? How are you going to handle dues? How are you going to handle communication? How are you going to handle setting up for the meeting? All these are systems and processes that you have to have down. Otherwise, your club president is going to go, wow, I can't do all of these things by myself. And that's where the board comes in and your core group comes in, right? And then the last thing really is to have committed leadership. And I will tell you that it's my belief that unless you have those 7 things I said before this, it's really difficult to create a long-term leadership line. But you have to have committed leadership, that the leadership is committed to creating an environment where trust and relationships can grow. Because I'm a big believer that that is our core mission for leadership. All right. Right now, my wife is the president of our club. Never wanted to be president. She's not the kind of person that's ever done any type of leadership thing in her life. She's a background person, numbers cruncher, whatever. Okay. So when I approached her about being president, she said, absolutely not, never in a million years. I'll drop dead before I'm president of a club. All right. But what happened is that she began to see that it really wasn't about being this powerful leader that comes up and, manages everything. It was really about being sort of an environmental leader where she can come in and just create an environment where people, where relationships are good, right? And where we can trust each other as members so that the club can grow. So when she began to see it as that, as opposed to being like, a fearless leader, then it became a more palatable thing to her. And she saw that there were people around her that could support her as a leader. Okay. Like I'm going to talk about our PE Claudia again. She's on this call. Now, Claudia is a super busy person, right? She's a professor at the community college there. She's been involved in Rotary for decades, right? And so when we approached her about being the president-elect, all right, this is what she did, right? She looked around, all right, she saw me, she saw Zeta, she saw my sister, she saw Len, she saw Margaret, all the people that are around her that were basically saying, Claudia, if you do it, we back you up, we got you. Claudia said, okay, I do them, right? And it's because she had the sense that there was structure around her to support her as a leader, and that's one of our great things. Now, sustainable, why is all this important? Okay, so sustainable clubs that have this infrastructure, they are our vibrant clubs. They are the clubs that create that positive club experience that everybody's talking about. These irresistible clubs, these are clubs that are engaging, that make people feel like, wow, I want to be a part of this, right? And I want to not just participate, but I like the people that are in it. So people join Rotary because they want to serve and they want to contribute, right? But they stay in Rotary because they connect to the mission of Rotary, what Rotary does, and they connect with the people, right? Because once you make a connection with the people in it, like I've told the story a million times. When I was a kid, I asked my dad, what am I going to be when I grow up? And he said, you're going to be whatever you're around the most. The people that are around you, they're going to dictate a lot of who you become later in life. Okay. And it's the positive club experience that creates Rotarians for life. And that's why Rotary has put such a big emphasis on positive club experience. Because, Jarita Solari was on our last meeting, right? And she said, we don't have a membership problem. We have a retention problem. Because I think that the stats are 80% of the Rotarians that join Rotary today, they'll be gone within 3 years. And they're gone within 3 years simply because they don't have that club experience. They haven't connected in with the club members or the mission deep enough to make them believe that, wow, this is a great thing. Now, for me, I was lucky that I had that I had people in my club that I connected with right away. And then I saw the mission of what Rotary was trying to do. And as a worldwide organization, that's why I encourage everybody, if you have a chance, to go to an international convention, right? And coincidentally, we're having one here in 2027. Because when you experience the width and breadth of what Rotary is about, I mean, how gigantic it is and how much impact it has on people around the world, what its reach is and the reason why people are engaging in it, you know, and the fact that they have adapted well enough, all right, to still be a really relevant organization worldwide after 115 years. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that people resonate with, people connect to. So anyway, any questions about any of that before I turn the ball back over to Ted, or I think it's going to go to Naomi next. Any thoughts about that? I always want to call Tom over here because I know Tom's been around a while and, you know, he's seen a lot and he always has something to say. So Tom, any thoughts about that? Tom's on meeting now.
Are you referring to me?
Yeah, I was referring to you.
Caught me off guard there a little bit.
Yeah, I know. So that's my thing is I always like to call on people, call them out because, you know, then it puts everybody like, whoa, I better start paying attention. He might call me. So
Well, I was paying attention. I was making notes.
yeah. Okay, thanks.
I was busy writing notes. So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
So no, just your thoughts on that about you know, critical infrastructure within your club, creating that vibrant type of club that we're looking for, that helps not just to bring members in, but also to retain them, to help them.
Oh, I can talk on that. That's not a problem. Yeah, I can talk about that. You know, we have issues, and you know, the COVID really set us back. It's been a challenge. We have all our meetings now are hybrid meetings, so members can come on either through a Teams or a Zoom meeting or in-person meetings. Our lunches are expensive. We're trying to grow our membership, but we lose 10 members a year for however many we bring on board. 10 members drop out every year from the last 5 years. So it's a real challenge. What we have found, though, an experience that has gotten more and more of the members, old and young, together, and I've mentioned this before, are the beer festivals that we've been putting on in conjunction with a production company. We have one today. And so while we've been in this meeting, I've been getting emails and texts from everybody. We're going to have 65 volunteers pouring beer, which is a mixed, mostly Rotarians and friends of Rotary. And everybody comes away from that experience very positive. A lot of bonding goes on. I don't even have to really worry about getting volunteers anymore. People are lining up for the next one. That's the kind of thing that really generate, not everybody can put beer festivals on. I understand that. And we don't want you to because we want to compete with you. But it's, you know, that has been probably one of our most positive club experiences to help get people. You know, I mean, I could go on forever, Benson.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. I knew that you would have something to say on that. Anybody else? Any other comments before I'm gonna turn it back over to Ted?
Benson,
Yes.
One of the things we found with having to go to hybrid meetings with COVID is we get speakers from all over the place. We've had speakers from Luxembourg, we've had speakers from Zambia, we had speakers from Scotland. Bringing a speaker on February the 8th from Seattle, who from Alaska Airlines. So that has allowed us to do that. You know, you can't fly a guy here from Luxembourg to give a speech, but you can Zoom him in. And that has been very helpful.
Yeah, that's been a great ability to adapt thing. Is that once we kind of understood the technology, I know when COVID hit in our area on the Big Island, all of our clubs just pretty much shut down. But Hilo Bay was able to continue simply because their president was a technology guy, and so he had them all set up. I mean, they never even missed the meeting. So yeah, the technology is out there now, which allows us to bring speakers in from all over the place. It's going to allow us to do way more creative things. down in the future. So if we had some chance to share later on some of the things that people are doing to basically kind of spice it up and, adapt to different things. A lot of clubs have Rotary on the road where once a month or every quarter, they actually have their meeting somewhere else where they can combine it and make it a vocational meeting as well. So, okay, well, that's my part for today. I'm gonna turn it back over to Ted, and I'm hoping that we're still within our time frame.
Thanks, Spencer. You actually got us back on schedule. So
Oh, good. Because people always worry when these guys will laugh. Like, look at Naomi, she's laughing now. Because whenever you put Benson in the agenda, you're like, somebody remind him that there's a time frame here. Let's go back on. Okay, thanks, Ted. Go
No,
ahead.
great. Thank you. And I think I'm seeing comments in the chat of that was very useful information. So thank you for sharing that. So at this point on our agenda, it is time to take a little break. So a bio break, get another cup of coffee, and if we can do that in about 7 minutes and come back at 10:30. We're going to then turn to the practicalities of data and how do we use data, manage data for our clubs, just like we do in our business lives and our nonprofit lives. We have to have data in order to communicate and assess and manage. So let's take a break and we'll come back about, well, at this point, 10:31. By my watch, it's 10:31. If we can reconvene. To give you a moment to turn cameras back on, sit down with your coffee. Okay, let's keep moving along with our schedule then. So this morning we're really talking about what does it mean to be a strong environment, vibrant club? How do you set yourselves up for success in leading your club? And those of us with business background, or if you have a non-profit background or an education background, you know that a successful organization has a vision, it has goals moving toward that vision, and then it has action plans in order to achieve those goals. As Benson highlighted for us, then you also have systems and processes for how you're going to operate as you're implementing that action plan. And you also have, with those systems and processes, data. How do you know if you're making progress toward your goals? Do you have the systems in place to communicate with your customers, with your employees? And it's the same for Rotary. So in order to have a vibrant, successful club, we need to also have systems and data. And our resident expert is our PDG, Naomi Masuno. Two of the key systems that we use in Rotary are Club Runner and Rotary Club Central. I will share that prior to me becoming my club president, I found these things were pretty confusing. And even if you've been using them for a while, I think you will probably learn something new from Naomi this morning. That there are always new things to learn and new tips and techniques. So with that, let me turn it over to Naomi. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And I'm going to share my screen because we've got a lot of slides to show you. So just know that we'll get the slide deck out to you, so you don't need to worry that you didn't take really good notes, because it's hard to remember all of these steps. So Ted asked me to go over Club Runner and the Rotary Club Central. Those are the most important things right now, because you can go binge on the websites later on. But just to let you know, Rotary, our district, has the Rotary D5000.org, and this is Club Runner that we used as our platform. And this is more internal. We have a lot of things for clubs, but we have an external website, and it's rotaryinhawaii.org. And I'll show you that later on if we have time, but that one is for external, where they're going to see what we're doing and kind of entice them to join us. And then the Rotary International is rotary.org, or My Rotary. Sometimes you'll hear it as My Rotary. That's the one that we're going to be talking about first. Okay, so Rotary Club Central is where you put in your goals. And I'll go through the new screens. And so, Ted, you know, they're going to be changing this on Monday. So sometimes when you go in today and you see what the screens look like, it'll change on Monday. So I got some of the screenshots, so hopefully you'll get familiar with some of the changes. So Rotary Club Central goals, we want you to put in the goals no later than May 31st. So you want to talk to your board, to your incoming board, to see if they have some input on the goals, because you want it to be a shared goal. So Rotary Club Central is just a section on the Rotary Club, on the Rotary website, that has a place for you to set your goals and track your achievements. Okay, so they're going to have membership foundation, youth service, all those kinds of goals. But on Monday, you will see that they're organized in these 4 categories. And remember, Ted talked about the 4 priorities. The goals are going to be categorized under these 4 categories. So you'll see what I mean. I have some screenshots of the new website. So what is Rotary Club Central? It's a one-stop shop where your members and you can see where you're going with your goals. It kind of eliminates some of the forms, and it's kind of an inclusive, transparent way of your club members knowing where you're going. And you want to see all of the trends, all of the numbers, and how you and the other clubs are doing, and the clubs worldwide, because the numbers that we put in get tallied for the district, for your club, the district, the zone, and for Rotary International. Okay, so another change, all of these goals get put into this citation, and it's the Rotary citation that it's being called now. It used to be the presidential citation, but on July 1st, it's going to be called Club Excellence Award. Okay, so the Club Excellence Award is taking all of your goals, and if you meet 13 of the goals, if you achieve them, then you get this Club Excellence Award, and that would come out probably September 2025, but it's taking all of your successes up to June 30, 2025, so for the whole year. Yeah. Okay, so the Club Excellence Award, the goals come from Club Central, and it's all of the activities up to June 30. And some of the numbers come from Rotary. They will put in the membership numbers, the foundation numbers, so that you can see how you're doing against your goal that you put in. The other ones, you need to manually update it. So if you don't go back and update it, you're not going to find that you got them achieved. So this is how you get in. You're going to My Rotary or Rotary.com. .org. You're going to Rotary Club Central. You're going to click on the Gold Center and make sure you're in the right year, because the way that you get into your goals is by your position in the year that you're in that position. And then you're going to select goals and achieve goals. So that's how you get into Rotary Club Central. So the way that you can, there's several ways that you can get to Rotary Club Central. One is go to myrotary.org. And you see right here, you click on this arrow, and then this menu comes up, and this is where you see Rotary Club Central. You can also, from your profile page, your home page, just click on Rotary Club Central, and you'll get there. Or you can type in rcc.rotary. So several ways you can get there. But you need to be eligible. The club needs to be eligible. So it's an active club in good standing for the whole year. So what does that mean? A club in good standing means that you paid your dues within that 60 days from July 1st and January 1st. Okay, so who can enter goals? Okay, so only certain people can enter and edit goals because they don't want everybody getting there and changing things. So on the club level, it's the president, secretary, treasurer, foundation membership chair, and the executive secretary. So sometimes you have someone who's good at doing the inputting and the computer stuff, but they're not really the secretary for the club. So these officers plus the service project chair and the public image chair can also input. Okay. On the district level, your district governor, your assistant governors, committee chairs, executive secretary, they can also help you with those goals to edit them. So sometimes when we see that you haven't put it in, maybe we'll give you a call. Do you need some help? And we'll help you and put it in. So when you set up the goals, you're going to see how the goals are performing in the past. You're going to discuss it with your board and the club chairs, the committee chairs, and then come up with your goals and input them manually. Some of the achievements are done by Rotary. So foundation and membership, Rotary will update those. So coming soon, Rotary Club Central is going to be cleaner, easier to navigate. So that's as of January 30. So the homepage is good. When you get to Rotary Club Central, it's going to take you straight to club goals. Right now it goes to the dashboard. Okay. Because that's what Rotary Club Central is for the club goals. So that's where you're going to go first. the navigation is reorganized and the terminology is more clearer, hopefully. So this is what it's going to look like, the new landing page on January 30. So you'll see that this menu is different. It'll start off with club goals, and it's going to open directly into your goals section. Okay, so just make sure you're in the right year. So you're going to be in 24, 25, right, for next year. So that's the new landing page on Monday. Then the categories are going to be different. So you're going to see these categories is going to be the engagement, the impact, reach, and adapt. That's what Ted talked about, the priorities. And so all of the goals are going to be organized under those 4 priorities. But here's a hint. Go to all, and then you'll get everything. And then it's easier to see what goals you want to select and track. Okay, because you need to click the select button. Okay, so go to all when you're ready to put in your goals. So when you're setting your goal, you go to all, you're going to edit. So here's the edit button. You're going to look at the goals that you want to track. I would suggest clicking all of them, select all of the goals, all 25 of the goals. Because in order for you to get that citation, you need 13 completed. And sometimes you don't know you're going to get something at the beginning of the year, but maybe during the year, you're going to get it. So try and select all and try and put a number, a goal into all. So you hit the edit button, you hit select the goal, and then you put the goal numbers in here. Okay, so that's how you're going to put your goals in. So remember that your membership goal, the number that you put in is the number of your club members at the end of next year. Okay, so Ted wants a net of 2. So you're going to make sure you have your goal plus 2, and it's the number you're going to shoot for at the end of the year. So meaning if your attrition is bigger than you thought, you try and bring in people to get to that number at the end of the year. Okay. There's also that global summary. So the global summary is where you can see what we're doing for the whole international site. And then they're going to have reports. And here you can see in this engagement part, you can see how many clubs have goals and where they are, and then how many have set goals. So that's one of the screens you can see in this global summary. Okay, so that goal center, to determine the goals, you go to the year that you're in, you edit, and you select. Okay, and then if you want to see how your club did in the past 5 years, you're going to click this, what does it say? Show goal details and history. When you open up this tab, it'll show you what the goals were for your club in that category for the last 5 years and what the achievement was. So this will help you determine what the goals are for this year. Okay.
Okay. When will you know if you're gonna be taking the robotics team?
Last year they told us on February.
Okay. So when you update your goal, because every once in a while you want to get back to Rotary Club Central and update your numbers, you're going to edit. Okay, so hit the edit button, do your achievement. So if you don't have a box there, Rotary's going to put in that number for achievement. But if there's no box, you will update that number. Okay, so you want to update your numbers. So say you had Ryla and you sent 3 people to Ryla, then in the Ryla section, if your goal is 3, you can now put 3 and then it'll check off as achieved. Okay, so go back into this every once in a while and update these numbers. So what you want to do is do it maybe every other month and update it. But towards the end of the year, you want to make sure that you've got that the 13 goals achieved. Okay, so the dashboard right now shows you these numbers for the global view. It tells you worldwide what the numbers are for membership, the male, female breakdown, the age breakdown. And so you'll see right now, so I just pulled this up yesterday, that the age groups are increasing in the 50 to 59 category. So, you know, we're getting a little younger because it was the over 70 group that was the largest one. But it's all of the numbers are what people put in. So if you don't put in the year of the birth date for a person, then their numbers don't go in here. Okay, so those are your goals. One of the goals is service project goals. And remember, before right now it says service activities is going to change to service projects. So you go on Rotary Club Central on the left-hand side, the menu, you go to service projects, you tap that, and it'll take you to Rotary Club's showcase. So Rotary Showcase is now where you're going to list all of your projects. Okay. And if you don't do that, and if you don't go back and show it as complete, that category for projects will not get updated. Okay, so you want to go to this showcase and put your projects in. And what's pretty neat about this is you can put a prospective project in. If you're looking for partners for money, you got a grant, you want looking for partners, you can put that in and say that you're looking for partners. But when you're finished with the project, please go back in and say it's complete. You're going to put in your volunteer numbers, how many volunteers, what hours, what money, what in-kind dollars you have, and then it'll show that you're complete with that project. And then that number will update your Rotary Club Central goal. Okay, so the showcase is where they want to have in one place all the projects that we have going. So to get to there are different ways that you can get there. You can go to the Rotary Club Central and go to that service project tab, or from your home page, click on participate. This is the menu that comes up, and Rotary Club Central comes up, and then you can click on there to get to Rotary Showcase. So when you get to Showcase, you add projects this way. Click on this add new project, okay? And it's going to ask you a lot of questions about your project. Volunteer hours, funding, all kinds of information, location, what focus area it's at, and they want to know more about your project. Okay, so when you click into there, it's going to tell you what's new, and it's going to kind of guide you through all of the categories, and you can upload videos and pictures and a lot of good information into that project listing. So when you click on add a new project, it's going to take you to this screen. And then it's either an established project or one that you're looking for partners. Okay, so click on the one that you want to get to. So get ready when you input your project for this information that they'll ask you for. What's the description, the location, the timeline? Where's the funding? Is it money from a grant? What's the community need? So you always want to make sure that you can answer these questions. Project partners, contacts, videos, and then the engagement trackers would be the volunteer hours and number of volunteers. Rotary really wants to see what we're doing and show people what we're doing. So, and Ted wants to see that too, right? Ted, you want to know what we're doing, and at the end of the year we can say, hey, we did all of these things. Right now, there's 133 projects in Rotary Club Central. I'm sorry, in the showcase, and these are some of the ones that people put in. Okay, so check it out. You can sort. You can put a filter on what you want to see. So say you want to know who's doing a project in Uganda. You can go to the filter and put in the location. You can put in the focus area. So if you want to know, if you want to do a medical project in Uganda, you can filter and see who's doing it and join them, or find out if maybe they don't have anyone doing that, you can do it. Okay. Okay. So going back to Rotary Club Central, you always can find reports and resources there. So you will find, and this is the new headings, you'll find that in reports, you click on membership, foundation, youth service, you can find reports in Rotary Club Central. So on the foundation reports, this is where you can find how much your clubs have given. The analysis is a really good report because it gives you a snapshot of where you are for the past 5 years in annual giving, Polio Plus contributions, how many E-Ray people you have, sustaining members. So the club fundraising analysis is a really good report to pull up. Okay, so when when the district wants to see how we're doing on Rotary citation, they get a report. We get a report, and next Monday, you'll be able to see this report as well. Not in this format, but you can see where people are, how many clubs put in the goals, how many clubs have goals completed, and if they qualify for the citation. So this is the report for this year right now. And so it means this July report, July invoice, these clubs paid their July dues bill. This is January, so some clubs paid their January dues invoice, how many goals are completed so far, and if they earn the citation. So you'll be able to see this on the new Rotary Club Central. Okay, so you can track if you're online with getting this citation. So the citation is to track goals, but it really helps you see what the important goals are for Rotary. And if you're doing these activities, you know that you're on the right track for having a vibrant, effective club. And it's also the transparency with the club members where they can see where you're going, and your board will be able to see, you know, how you can do a course correction or see what goals that your club needs to achieve. Okay, so for the Rotary website, okay, some quick tips. Your username, don't forget your username is your email address. So if you're going to change your email address, you got to call Rotary and let them know. But your username is your email address, which is different from Rotary Club Central. I mean, sorry, Rotary, Club Runner, our district website. Okay, so quick tips. Your snapshot for your homepage, when you log in, you get your information. So you're going to get your club information, your profile, your club information, the district information. Okay. If you want to see how much your donations are, you're doing taxes now, you want to see how much you gave to Rotary Foundation, you can go click on this arrow and go to my donations, and it'll show you your history on the on your donations to the foundation, and then you can see for your tax purposes how much you had and where that money went. If it went to the disaster fund, Polio Plus, and then if you qualify for Paul Harris Society. Okay, so that's where you find your own donation report. Okay, and these are the blocks where you can get to certain places on the website. Okay. There's also a newsletter that you can sign up for. So go to Events Connections and then go to Newsletters. And this is the page that's going to pull up. And you can sign up for a newsletter on certain topics. So foundation giving, youth service, membership minutes. You can find all of these in newsletters, and you get it delivered to your email box when that newsletter comes out. So the one that I would recommend for you is the leadership newsletter. So sign up for these the extra newsletters, extra information on those topics. Okay. One of the questions that I get a lot is, where do I find the forms for foundation? And so here you go to participate, and then go to ways to give. And on the bottom of that page, you're going to find all of these forms, the contribution form, the multiple donor form. If you're giving it in honor of somebody or your memorial, you'll find that all there. Okay. Then I'm going to the district website is rotaryd5000.org. Okay. So this is where you can find information for the district. So you can find the org chart, avenues of service, events, and then when in the drop-down menu, you can find a lot of information, but this club resources one, when you go to foundation and grants, go to grants, and then you can find your district grant information and global grant information. So that's where you find that. Okay. There's also yellow pages where you can put in your business information. Also, please, if you haven't already, download that Club Runner app to your phone, because when you do that, you're going to be able to get at your fingertips phone numbers and emails, and you can even click it and your phone will dial that phone number if the phone is set up in that format. So okay, I got a few more minutes. I want to take you to that website, show you live. So I did that PowerPoint because sometimes the website is not that fast and I don't want to take up your time. But here's the website, rotaryd5000.org. Okay. And then here's where you can find clubs. So the club directory. So say you're on Kauai and you want to see who's meeting. You can see who's meeting. And then if you click on this meeting date, you can find the day and the time.
Naomi, we're not seeing your screen.
Oh, so sorry. I took it off and I'm okay. Here you go. Okay, so thank you. So you were supposed to imagine the website. So here's our website for the district, rotaryd5000.org. So you get the homepage. Here who we are, you can find a club. And so when you find a club, you can click on this meeting date and sort it by the day and time. So if you wanted to visit someone, you can see who's meeting at that time. Okay, you can find the org chart. So say you wanted to talk to the, let me get to next year, to Ted's year. Say you wanted to talk to the membership chair. So you can go find the membership chair and click on the envelope button and send them an email address. Okay, so your org chart is on there. The avenues of service here, when you go to club service, you can find in club service a speakers bureau. Say your speaker didn't come up and you need a video. Here's a library. So you can click on that and look for videos that you can share. So speakers bureau videos and more information about club service. Then we have community service, international service. So these avenues of service, you can find more information on those categories. News updates, you've got the district calendar, but here's where you can go to the yellow pages. Okay, so the yellow pages, you can sign up for free to be listed. Okay, or if you want to pay $30 a year, you can get this banner. So here, is that Chelsea? So you get a banner, and so your banner would show up every time someone gets up. But when you sort, you can put in a category, or you can just get the list of everybody who's listed. These are Rotarians. You want to do business with a Rotarian, this is the list. Okay. Okay, so encourage your members to sign up for that. This resources, this is where you can find information on club roles, the conference, policies, but this is where you find that grant information on forms and the global grant for all of the global grants that are available. So this is under foundation and grants. Okay, so this is your main page. When you log into member area, okay, you're going to be able to find members. This is one thing that people have, well, how do I find a person? So go to membership, go to member search. Okay, and so when you get here, you can search by club. So say you picked Ala Moana. I'm going to pick on Ala Moana, Marianne, because it's first on the list. Okay, so here, Ala Moana, you click on search and you're going to get everybody in the club. Okay, and so say you want to call Marianne Barry, okay, you click on her number and here's her address and when they join and the phone number. So this is where you can find someone in the club. You can sort it by a name and find that person's name, and you don't have to put the whole name. And here's Marianne's number information. Okay, so this is how you can find people in the district. So remember, you got to sign in because it's not available if you don't sign in. Okay. Okay, So, oh, you know what? Let your club members know that when they want to update their own information, they can do it themselves. So go to members and edit my profile, and they can put in their own information, their phone numbers, maybe their work phone numbers changed. They can upload their pictures. So this is what they can do themselves. Okay. So here, let's go back to, sorry. Let's go back to the home page. Okay, on the home page, you'll find a lot of really great information. There is how to register for the district conference. There's a calendar. There's quick links. So the president-elect preparation is where you can find information that Ted wants to put out. You can find the recordings for all of the sessions. Club awards. This is the webinar recordings. So if you want to go back to some of the sessions that we've had in the past, you just go to the YouTube, and this is all listed chronological. Okay. And then we have some of the handouts that we gave on the side. So a lot of really great information on the website. On the very bottom, you can find information on Southwest Pets for the Institute. So the Institute is going to be in Spokane in September. And then you have the convention information on the bottom. Okay. And you can find the clubs here by clicking on that. So a lot of really great information. Is there anything that you want to know where to find? Anybody? We're all good?
Nomi, could you just pull up the president-elect page under club resources?
Okay.
So everybody can see that live, please.
Okay. The president-elect preparation. So here's the sessions, all of the courses that people need to take. Maybe you want to refresh.
So if you've missed any of the September, October, November Zoom trainings,
Oh, God.
or you want to go back and refresh yourself on any of, or go back through the slide sets from any of those, this is the page that you're going to go to in order to access those recordings and slide sets. And today's session is also being recorded. I'll ask Josh to get that uploaded hopefully within a couple of days, and I'll get the link out to everybody if you want to refer back to any of the recording or slide sets from today as well. Thanks. Any other questions on websites, Rotary Club Central?
Naomi, I had one question. You had mentioned an app to download to get like the phone numbers to easy like dial. What was the name of that app?
Club Runner. So go to your app store and pull up Club Runner and log in, and then you'll have
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Other questions at this point? I can guarantee once you start to use it, you will have other questions, but we'll help you through it. So if you run into another question, reach out to Naomi, reach out to me. We'll help you sort through it. So don't worry if you get lost or you run into something or you can't remember, oh, where did Naomi say that was? We're more than happy to help you. So that brings us to the thank you so much, Naomi. That was really really helpful. That brings us to the next item on our agenda, which is talking about what to expect at PETS. If you especially if you've not been to PETS before, a few of you are repeat offenders, but if you're new to PETS, the PETS that we attend is called Southwest Pets in Los Angeles. It is what we call a multi-district pets. In the case of Southwest Pets, we currently have 9 districts this year. We'll be adding some more in the future. So that's districts across all of Arizona and Southern California and us. In total, there will be about 600 of us there at the Los Angeles Marriott. So this is a large event. You'll get to meet lots of people, and I encourage you not only to interact with each other, get to know each other better and share ideas with each other, but meet people from the Southern California districts, from the Arizona districts. Ask them what their clubs are like. What kinds of improvements are they trying to make in their clubs? And you will find you will probably learn as much from those conversations as you do in the courses that you attend, quite frankly. And out of those discussions, you'll hear things that, oh, well, maybe that's an idea that would work in my club. Or, oh, maybe I could do something sort of similar to that in my club. And they will learn from you as well, because you guys all have great ideas. You have wonderful clubs doing wonderful things in our communities. Ask them about the kinds of projects they're doing. Tell them about the kinds of projects that your club is doing. And that's the power of Rotary, is we make these connections. We share ideas and best practices with each other, and we all become better as a result of that. And you'll come back with lots of new ideas, new connections. I have friends now from Far West Pets from years ago that I still keep in touch with, and who share ideas with me and updates about their families and all kinds of things. So this is really a huge opportunity, a way to come away with new ideas and also inspiration. You can't help but be in a crowd of 600 Rotarians, hearing about their projects, the kinds of impact that they're having in their communities. You can't help but walk away inspired from hearing all of that. I do want to set expectations also. We do have a very full schedule each day. So don't think that you're going to have time to meet your brother-in-law for breakfast or your sister-in-law for a drink after the sessions. We're scheduled from early in the morning well through the evening in our hospitality suites. So this is a full session. If you want to do other connections before or after Pets, please do that. But when we're at Pets, we do have a very full schedule going from one activity to another. In terms of what to pack, our attire is business casual. Whatever you kind of feel comfortable in, or in Hawaii, we define business casual sometimes as even more casual than some of the other areas. You know what business casual is. I would advise, when we're in some of the conference rooms, it may be chilly. So you may want to bring a sweater or a light wrap with you, because sometimes the air conditioning overcompensates and it may actually be chilly in one of the rooms. Also, please bring one of your electronic devices to be able to connect to Rotary Club Central. We're going to actually try to spend some time and get goals entered into Rotary Club Central. So bring a tablet, an iPad, or a laptop, or a smartphone, whatever device is useful to you, that you'll be able to connect to the internet at the hotel, and we can actually access our systems while we're there. Uh, when you arrive at the airport, there is a shuttle service, a shuttle bus that the hotel runs between the airport terminals and the hotel. It's a very short drive from the airport over to the hotel. If you're arriving on Hawaiian Airlines, my experience was it was kind of confusing. Hawaiian Airlines lands in the international terminal at the very far end. It seemed to me like it was a 3-mile walk. They say it's actually less than a half a mile, but you're going to go down a couple escalators, through a tunnel, up a couple escalators. You're going to come out into an area that you'll have to watch the signage, and you'll go down a couple different corridors. Eventually, you'll get to baggage claim and outside to the curbside. When you get to that curbside, you're going to be wanting to go up a level to get the shuttle bus, and you need to be in front of either terminal 3 or 4 to get the hotel shuttle bus. If you're coming in on an airline other than Hawaiian Airlines, you'll be coming into one of those terminals. But if you're coming in on Hawaiian, you'll need to just walk the short distance over to the next terminal. There will be a sign right along the curbside that's a red colored pillar sign that says hotel shuttle buses. So you're going to look for that. If you're like me and you get lost, you'll just have to ask some people along the way, and they'll help you find that red pillar. Eventually I found it, I got on the bus, and then it was a very short ride over to the hotel. But that's a free shuttle service, and you can also take that hotel shuttle at the end of the conference back over to the airport. It runs pretty frequently between the hotel and the airport. When you get to the hotel, you'll want to go to the hotel registration desk and get checked into the hotel, get your room key. As you know, your registration package included your hotel reservation, so they'll be able to pull that up and get you your hotel key. You'll also want to go to the conference level, and after you get to your room, come to the conference level and go to the registration window. There'll be a big corridor. You'll see a whole lot of booths set up with different vendors and exhibits. And right along that main corridor will be a big window and a big sign that says registration. You'll go there to pick up your registration packet. If you went to PETS last year, this is a difference from what we did last year. So last year you did not do this step. We were able to do that for you. They're not allowing us to do that this year. So you will need on your own to go to that registration window and get your registration packet. And that will include your name badge and your program and all of the conference materials. That will be open. Yeah. Question.
How late will that registration office stay open?
I think I think they're not going to be open too late on Thursday evening. I want to say till 7 p.m. I think. If you're coming in later than that, then you'll need to go to that registration window first thing Friday morning. So if you're arriving later Thursday evening, you won't be able to do that step. You'll do that step Friday morning. And whenever you arrive on Thursday evening, though, we will have our Hawai'i hospitality suite open. That's on a lower floor 1. It's suite 104. So get your registration packet, then come to our Hawai'i hospitality suite. That evening we'll have pizza and drinks available. So no matter what time you arrive, if you get in at 5 p.m. or you get in at midnight, we'll have food there available for you. And get also there, you'll be getting your messenger bag with your banner, your portfolio, pins, and district shirt. If you pre-ordered a district shirt, the latest I've heard is that the shirts will be brought to Pets and we will distribute them from the hospitality suite. So that's where that will happen. There's a group of 5 of us who will be setting up this hospitality suite during the day on Thursday. And that's where we'll be hosting all of the conference participants on Friday evening and Saturday evening for some fun and fellowship.
So Ted,
yes,
this is Heather Mueller here.
Yeah.
I ordered dinner on Thursday and my flight does not come in until 9. So I have paid $69 for a dinner. Is there anyone who would like to have that dinner? I would rather have somebody have it than just, $69 going to waste. Do you know of anybody?
I see
Maybe
Lillian waving her hand.
Good. Lillian, it's under the name Heather Mueller. And it's on Thursday evening. And it better be good. It's costing $69.
Thank you, Heather.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Let's see what else. So there'll be a group of us that will set up that room on Thursday. We'll also have available theme pins. So the pins that say the magic of Rotary and have that logo. You want to think about, do you want to purchase theme pins to give out to your club members, your board members, and we'll have those at a discounted rate that you can pick up in the hospitality suite. After today's session, I'll be sending you a link that you can put in the number of pins that you want to purchase and make a payment for those pins. And then you can pick up those theme pins in the hospitality suite. But they're nice little pin that has that cute logo and say the magic of Rotary. Also, we do assess each of our clubs $100 to fund the hospitality suite at Pets. So along with the theme pin link, I'll be sending you the link for each of your clubs to make that $100 payment to pay for drinks and supplies and decorations for our Hawai'i hospitality suite. So you'll watch in your email, you'll get those from me after today's session. We do start first thing on Friday morning. That's why I made sure that we all arrive on Thursday because we do kick off early Friday morning. We will have some time as our district team, in addition to going to the courses with the other districts. Part of the time we'll also be in our own room doing some workshops together. And during that, do I have a question? No, yeah.
Can I put up the program time so while you're talking, people can see what the time
Oh
is?
yeah, please. That'd be great. Yeah. So this is the actual times for the program that day. So we'll have some district time, as you see there. When you look in the program, it'll say district training session. You'll see District 5000 and my name, Ted Faigle. So that's where you're going to want to go at that point in time, is to the Imperial A and B conference room. And it's right there along the main corridor where we're having the conference. So it's not too hard to find.
Ed, can you send this out to us with the email?
Yes, I'll send that to you after the session as well. And you'll also have that in your program book when you get your registration packet.
Yeah, because we're gonna have registration. I guess Heather and I are taking the same flight. Not too many from Maui direct to LA.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's
We will, during our district time on Friday and on Saturday, we will have some of our Rotary VIPs drop in on us and chat with us for a few minutes. So we'll have our Rotary International President incoming, Stephanie Yurchik. We'll have also a visit from our Rotary Foundation Chairperson, Barry Rassin, who's also a past Rotary International President. And we'll also have a visit from our Rotary International Director, Dan Himmelspach. And if you're not aware, yeah, our district is of course district number 5,000. We're part of a zone in Rotary, which is called Zone 26. Our zone is paired together with another zone called Zone 27. Those two zones together cover all of the Western United States and Canada. And Dan Himmelspach is the Rotary International Director for our two zones. So this is really a special opportunity, you guys, that these Rotary VIPs don't go to everybody's pets around the world. But they're going to be at our pets this weekend. They will be speaking at some of our general sessions, and they'll be coming in for our particular district workshop time to have a chat specifically with our district. There will also at the general sessions are around our meals during the conference. There will also be a couple of other inspirational speakers. One is Jean Irwin Hatfield. She's a ambassadorial scholar from Rotary. And another guy named Lex Gillette, who has a very inspirational story about being a blind athlete. So then I talked about the hospitality suite. After we do our program for the day on Friday and Saturday, we'll have our evening general session. There'll be a meal, there'll be a speaker. And then when we leave the big ballroom, then we go around and each district has a hospitality suite. So there'll be 9 different places around the hotel to go hang out, have a drink, chat with people informally, learn about the different districts that are there. Ours, again, is suite number 104. It's on the lower level and it's adjacent to the swimming pool area. So we actually are able to open the door and spill out into the swimming pool area. Our hospitality suite is usually very, very popular. People like to come to our Hawaii suite because of our Hawaii hospitality. That's part of our culture. So we will have some Mai Tais and other drinks and non-alcoholic alternatives, and some snacks and some decorations and some interactive photo opportunities and also some entertainment. If you happen to dance hula, it would be great if you come and would be willing to dance hula for some of our colleagues from the mainland and maybe even teach a few things to some of them. And Benson Medina will be playing and singing, and we'll have a good time. But while we have a good time in our suite, I also encourage you to go around and visit the other hospitality suites, see what they're up to, what kinds of treats have they brought that are unique to their particular district, and meet a few people there as well. So that's a chance for us really to just meet some new people and have some fun into the evening. Then Saturday morning, we need to gather extra early. before breakfast. So I'll be giving you a start time for us to gather in the hallway next to the ballroom about 20 minutes before the breakfast session is scheduled to start. Our tradition in Hawaii is that we hand out the artificial flower lei to each of the attendees at PETS. So in that 20 minutes time period, we'll be going through our 600 lei and loading them up on our arms so that when the time comes for that session to open, we all go into the ballroom very quickly, and we disperse ourselves all over the ballroom, and we hand a lei to each participant or each attendee within that ballroom. We won't actually have time to present them properly, so we'll really just be, in this case, handing a lei to each person at the breakfast table. So we need to do that quickly, and then we reassemble in the center of the room. There'll be some music playing while we're there, and we'll be celebrating, and other people will be recognizing us. For that breakfast meeting, we are co-hosts with another district from Arizona. So the other district from Arizona will be entering the ballroom from a different door. They'll also be dispersing themselves around the room and handing out people to the attendees at PETS. And then they'll also be coming to the center of the room with us for everybody to recognize all of the president-elects from our district and from the district in Arizona. So that general session, we're the co-hosts. You'll be seeing and hearing from me and from my peer, Michelle Holcomb from Arizona. And then I'll be introducing our guest speaker after breakfast, who will be Jean Irwin Hatfield. So that's kind of what we'll be doing on Saturday morning. After we do the distribution of leis, there will be some tables reserved there for us to sit at. So you don't have to worry about how am I going to find a seat for breakfast after that. After that breakfast Saturday morning, also wear your district shirt to the Saturday breakfast for the lei distribution. And then immediately following breakfast, once the general session is over, then come to the front, to the stage, and we'll take a group photo. So Saturday morning group photo. During the day on Saturday, then, while you got your district shirt on, also go to the room where they're doing individual photos, and you want to get your individual photo taken. They'll give you the opportunity there if you want to order business cards or something else. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to, but do go and get your photo taken. Those photos are then sent back to us in the district, and we use those photos on our website as well. Let's see what else. Individual photos. Of course, during the couple of days, you'll have some core courses and some elective courses that you've signed up for. Our core courses this year are really focused around leadership. How are you going to be an effective leader of your Rotary Club? We'll have some more district time Saturday afternoon, and our district governor nominee, Nancy Cabral, and Benson Medina will be helping with that. And then Saturday night will again be hospitality. Sunday morning, we have some district time, and then our final general session. The program will wrap up at noon, so you can then catch shuttles over to the airport and catch flights home, hopefully. So that's hopefully an overview of what to expect and what's going to happen when. Nomi, anything you think of that I haven't mentioned?
No. You gonna write this down for everybody? Would you want me to help you with that?
Yeah, we'll send you a follow-up note. to summarize this. Any questions about any of that? Questions about anything I haven't covered? Marianne?
Dan, business questions. Have the grant allocations been done yet?
No,
Not yet.
not for next year.
Not
yet.
for next year.
Okay. When can we expect to get that?
Probably beginning of March.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Ted, just
Yeah.
a comment based on what Benson gave us, you gave us, Naomi gave us. I just, it's a recommendation. I have found that you almost have to dedicate a block of time weekly to do Rotary business, either online or email or whatever. It just, you got to dedicate time. As you probably can tell, the way things are now data driven. Thank you, Naomi. We've got to take time to make sure the data's right, which between us and the secretary, making sure that happens. So just a thought.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point, Vern. When I was my club president, our club met on Wednesday mornings. I allocated Monday afternoons to work on Rotary. I had a flexible schedule. I was able to do that. So Monday afternoon was my Rotary afternoon. And that's also when I sent out my every Monday email to the entire club. As Benson was pointing out, having a regular weekly communication with your club members, that they knew what to expect for that week and beyond. And so they always knew, oh, Ted's email is coming on Monday afternoon. I can figure out what's going on this week. Anything else? Okay, well, if not, you have my contact information if anything else pops into your head after this, and we'll follow up with links for theme pins, hospitality suite payments, and these notes about what to expect at Pets, and also the detailed program schedule. But thank you again, all of you, for stepping up to lead your clubs. As you know, Rotary happens in our clubs, so you really have the most important jobs in Rotary. And it's up to you to set the tone, to get people engaged, and to help us move each of our clubs and our entire organization into the future while we honor our past. And so I thank you for your time, your dedication, your commitment, your resources, your expertise, and for sharing ideas and best practices with all of us so that we can continue to learn from each other and improve with each other. So with that, let's adjourn for today, and I will be delighted to see you all next in Los Angeles in person. Safe travels. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha, everyone.
Thanks.
Aloha.
Bye. Bye.